The clock on the dashboard read 3:47 p.m. When Officer Bradley Grayson spotted a teenager walking alone, just another young black face in a white suburb, suspicious by default through his eyes. His name was Jalen Monroe, 16 years old, honor student, basketball player, and son of man Grayson would soon regret provoking. The stop was classic harassment. Grayson pulled alongside the boy in his cruiser, rolled down his window, and asked with feigned authority, "What are you doing around here?" "Walking home from school," Jalen replied calmly, earbuds out, standing with the quiet composure his father had instilled in him. But Grayson wasn't here for answers. She was here to assert dominance. When Jalen mentioned his father worked in special forces, Grayson laughed out loud. "Your daddy's a GI. Joe, that's rich." What the ex-military washout didn't know was that the stillness in Jalen's gaze was a reflection of someone who had trained his whole life to stand tall in the face of injustice. That someone was Adam Monroe, and he was already on his way back to Oak Ridge Hills. 3 days later, when black SUVs circled the neighborhood and Grayson's access attempts triggered redacted federal alerts, the officer knew he had stirred something far bigger than he could handle. That afternoon, Jalen had done what he always did. Walked the same route, passed the same houses, nodded politely to neighbors who rarely nodded back. At Mrs. Drummond's house, the curtains twitched. Again, at the corner store, Mr. Flannery's eyes locked on him, as if Jalen had theft etched into his face. Halfway home, he felt the cop cruiser trailing him. The windows rolled down. Officer Grayson, recently transferred and eager to flex his fading authority, leaned out. "ID. I'm 16. I don't have a driver's license. Keep your hands where I can see them." Jalen complied. He emptied his backpack, laid out books, a basketball, water bottle, nothing suspicious. Grayson pressed harder, demanding his address, if his parents were home. Then came the sneer. "What kind of work keeps a man away from his family?" "He's in special forces," Jalen answered plainly. Grayson burst out laughing. "Sure he is. Maybe he works with Chuck Norris, too." Across the street, Maya Wells, a quiet classmate of Jalen's, filmed the entire encounter from behind tree. At home, Jalen told his mother, Denise Monroe, about the stop. She stiffened. "You told him your father's work?" "I didn't give details. From now on, he's a government consultant. Nothing more." The following day at school, whispers swirled. Jalen's supposed lie about his dad became the joke of the lunchroom. Maya found him and revealed she had filmed everything. "My dad's a civil rights lawyer," she said. "He taught me, always document." Jalen thanked her quietly. Meanwhile, Officer Grayson was obsessing. He searched databases, only to find that Adam Monroe's military file was completely redacted. When he attempted to bypass clearance, his screen went black. A message blinked, "Clearance level inadequate. Incident logged." But Grayson didn't back down. He returned to the Monroe Street, questioned neighbors, snooped into their backyard shed, and found an old metal box. Inside was a single photo Adam in desert camouflage, flanked by 3 indistinct men, no insignias. Eyes sharp, alert, and silent. It rattled Grayson. He photocopied everything. Denise reported the break-in. She had security footage. Sergeant Willard, head of internal affairs, promised to investigate. Grayson was placed on administrative leave, but the damage had been done. When Maya's video went viral, retweeted by a senator, amplified by a known veteran, public outrage exploded. Days later, Grayson, ignoring his suspension, approached Jalen at the local court and arrested him under false pretenses. Jalen didn't resist, but Maya live-streamed the incident. Her father, Raymond Wells, immediately called a judge. At the precinct, Denise demanded to see her son. "He was picked up while playing basketball. You're holding a minor for what?" Officer Grayson has no authority. Grayson, in an interrogation room with Jalen, tried to provoke him. "Where's your dad now, huh?" "He's on his way." Indeed, he was. When Adam Monroe walked into the police station all composed, no badge, no weapon, everything changed. He spoke softly. "I'm here for my son." He handed over an ID that immediately silenced the front desk officer. It had the kind of classification that made careers pause. Chief Albright came down himself, face pale. Jalen was released without charges. Adam turned to Grayson. "You've been asking about me. Here I am." Grayson said nothing. For the first time, he seemed truly afraid. That night, the Monroe's home went into lockdown. Reinforced doors, blackout systems, silent alarms. Adam moved like a ghost, securing entry points. Then, just before midnight, a fake text lured Jalen out supposedly from Maya. But Adam intercepted it. "This isn't her." Outside, Grayson struck. In seconds, chaos erupted. Jalen was taken. Grayson had crossed the line, but he hadn't gone undetected. Adam had planted trackers on his son's belongings months ago. Using a secure satellite link, he traced the vehicle to an abandoned warehouse. Inside, Jalen was zip-tied to a chair. Grayson paced, ranting about conspiracies. "Your dad's a ghost. He's hiding something," Jalen replied calmly. "The only threat here is you." Then a message pinged on Grayson's phone. One sentence. "I'm coming in." Moments later, Adam appeared from the shadows. No gun, no gear, just a father. Grayson panicked, gun drawn. "Stay back. You don't want to do this," Adam said. "Fight me," Grayson screamed. But Adam didn't fight. He disarmed him with a single move. Controlled, efficient, surgical. SWAT teams arrived minutes later, called in advance by Adam. Cameras documented everything. Grayson was arrested, charged, and publicly disgraced. 3 weeks later, Adam Monroe addressed a packed community hall. "What happened to my son wasn't isolated. It was just finally visible." The town began to change. Oversight committees were formed. Bias training became mandatory. Chief Albright resigned. Jalen returned to school, a quiet hero. Maya received national awards for her journalism. And Adam? He stayed. He opened a youth academy, part self-defense, part leadership. Enrollment soared. One evening, as Jalen practiced free throws in the driveway, the neighbors who once watched him with suspicion waved instead. And in the sky above Oak Ridge Hills, a drone circled quietly, military eyes, still watching, because Adam Monroe was never truly off duty. Not when his family was home.